Access Bank, as you know, has grown in leaps and bounds over the past 20 years, and our challenges today are very different from the challenges that we had 20 years ago. This year, we introduced the guest lecture series as part of our leadership development program, a platform to interact with leaders in the corporate world who had made a difference to the country as a whole, and to learn from them and ensure that we become as high-performing as they were.
It is our absolute pleasure, sir, to welcome His Highness Khalifa Mohammed Sanusi II as our guest keynote speaker.
Good morning, everyone, and it's a great pleasure and honor to have the opportunity to finally visit this building and to speak to the management staff of Access Bank. What is a bank? It's not just a money-making institution. It's an institution you have that takes custody of people's money first and foremost. The depositors are the king, and I was very clear as Governor of Central Bank that my primary constituency was the depositor. You are taking the money of people on trust, and your first responsibility is to protect those funds. Anybody who wants to abuse trust can abuse trust. But what are the implications, what are the consequences, even if you're not caught? As a Nigerian and as a human being and as a professional, this business is first and foremost a business of trust. If you do not know how to lead, by the time you become a leader, you have a problem. You don't learn on the job. If I had not prepared for handling the crisis as governor of the central bank, if I was trying to learn after being appointed governor what to do, we would never have solved that problem. And so for those of you who are not yet CEOs, don't wait until you're a CEO before you learn how to be a CEO. You have to think like one and be ready so that if you're appointed CEO today, you can run the institution. And this is, I think, the first rule of leadership: be prepared. Lesson number 3, you're a leader. Don't be the general who moves on without his troops. That you know it does not mean that everybody knows it. That you see it does not mean everybody sees it. You have to have a common vision. You can have one voice in your exco that is warning you against something. That one voice, listen to it. It may be the voice that will save you, all of you. And then after 2 years, you turn around and say, we thank God that this man stopped us, or this lady stopped us. Now that you've grown, the vision, the strategy has to continue. And I think as leaders, you've got to think about the next generation, what institution you hand over to the next generation. So that's all for me. I'm compelled by Hadiza Ambursa to step down.
I'd like to invite Roosevelt Ogbonna, our Managing Director, CEO, for his vote of thanks and his remarks in appreciation.
We've all gotten used to listening to the Emir. We hear him when we go on YouTube and listen to him give his talks and his speeches over the years. I dare say that it's different when you're in the same room, to hear him firsthand and to feel the passion with which he delivers the things that he says. It comes from a place of conviction. To stand and speak for an hour and a half or 2 hours without reading from a note or a prepared speech, I think it says a lot about the individual and the content of his character. The second point which you made is, for me, one that resonates, and it's around impact. Be sure that the work you do is worthwhile. And I think the way you captured it, the essence is that there's an individual at the end of the process. So when we think about the work we do, it doesn't just start and stop with closing a nice transaction, doing a big deal, making income, growing the balance sheet. Whose lives are we impacting, and how are we ensuring that that's the reason for our being? And I think if there's anything we take away as a team, is to assure you that we will constantly focus on ensuring that we make the impact that we desire in our market. On behalf of myself, the senior management of the bank, and the team that has been here to receive you today and listen to you, we say thank you, and we hope that when we call on you again, you will grace us with your very majestic presence. Thank you very much, sir.
See, President Obasanjo visited the central bank, and they gave him a parcel, central bank diary and so on. He said, when I go to a brewery, they give me beer. When I go to a farm, they give me agri products. I'm in the central bank, they're giving me diary.